Why Kai and his girl broke up, but like, I'll tell you why. The same shit happened to me, gang. I cut my hair off, gang, and the bitch just was gone.
Oh my God! Look at your hair!
This guide might be the most important video you've ever watched on YouTube. We know hair is law. I don't care how sharp your features is, ideally you will look better with hair. You've seen the TikToks. Girls will clown you. The first thing a girl says whenever they hate a guy is, oh, he's bald, or oh, he's short. So clearly your hair matters. The question now we have to ask is, what type of hairstyle suits our face? Now, before we get into the hairstyles and the face shapes, I have to be very cut honest here. If you have a big forehead, your options will be limited. Like I just said, if you have a big forehead, you are cooked. Now, am I exaggerating? Yes. I'm going to give you these two options of what you can do if you're cooked. If you're black, middle part or free parts. With the middle part, you can fraud angularity with your face. Like, assuming that your forehead doesn't go to the back of your skull this far, and it's maybe about 4 fingers width apart, you can fraud the fact that you have a small forehead. But he's only able to fraud this easily because his hairstyle acts like a curtain. Same thing over here. Even though we can't see his forehead, this is a little bit extreme in the sense of we can't really see his entire face. But this is a square shaped individual. This is Coach K. But with this hair, it brings angularity to Coach's face. So now you wouldn't know Coach has a big head. Regardless, these are your two options: middle parts or covering your forehead if you have a big forehead. Now, if you're not black, it's the same thing. The same thing applies. Even if you're Chico, even if you're Jordan, Chico doesn't really have a real middle part, but I just found this example for you guys. I mean, can you hate me? Jordan Barrett, we know his facial width to height ratio. He has one of the widest skulls out of all the models. But how does he counteract this? He puts a lot of volume at the top of his head to make his head seem smaller than it actually is. Chico doesn't have this problem. Regardless, the point is, if your forehead is big, middle part or hide it. Middle part or hide it. Those are your only two options. Now, if you have a smaller forehead, you're okay. Now that we understand the importance of our forehead size, let's go into good health indicators. Now, I know you're still asking, bro, get into the face shape. Everything I'm telling you guys now, you need the context so you can understand why I am saying the stuff I am saying. So the reason why I'm explaining these good health indicators is because I'm going to show you a face shape that I will not be discussing. For example, if this guy leans down, we will see more angularity in his jaw. Believe it or not, most people aren't true circle face shapes. They just have to de-bloat. So if he ups his protein intake and he does some cardio, we will be able to see his jaw here. So I'm saying that to say this: I will not be covering hairstyles that fits this face shape. If you have this face shape currently, conflate yourself with the square face shape, and the same thing should apply to you. So let's go back to the good health indicators. Now, you're probably asking, but why do I have a girl here? Why do I have a man here? First of all, with the girl, she's frauding. Well, she already has clear skin, but she has a little bit of makeup here. But the question is, why does she put makeup even though she has clear skin? Because with clear skin, naturally, we cannot help our biology. When we first see a face with clear skin, we're already thinking of, oh, she's healthy. Oh, she doesn't have that much cortisol spikes. She's not that stressed out. Her hormones are in good condition. Versus with bad acne, with a lot of pus, you don't even want to look at someone's face. So clear skin is one good health indicator. Having a white eye sclera is also a good health indicator. Now, even though I just said the white and I have this yellow eye color, or you know what I mean. The reason I put him here is because for us men, even though clear skin is also important, having good facial leanness and good bone structure mogs in the sense of it is good. It is in your best favor to have striking features. So even though his eye, his sclera is not white, he's in this example because of his good bone structure, right? So he has a good brow ridge, he has a good zygomatic arch, he has a good, see, the thing is, he even has the hollow cheeks because he has good zygos and he has a good jaw. He doesn't have a weak jaw. I'm saying that to say this: if you have these good health indicators, this guy will be quick and easy. In fact, you probably won't even need this guy. But if you want to reaffirm your beliefs with the current hairstyle you have, this guy is for you. So now we know the importance of good health indicators. we know we won't really be covering this circle face individuals because they have the potential to show off their jaw. Everyone is at least a square shaped minimum. So now that we understand the importance of health indicators and head shapes, let's get into the first head shape of the video. The first head shape we have is the square head shape. The easiest way to identify what type of head shape you have is look at your cheekbones, look at your zygos. If you draw, like this is Jordan Barrett here, if you draw from Jordan Barrett and you go all the way down, you'll notice his cheekbones don't really pop out. It's kind of flat. So automatically, if your cheekbones don't show, like out your face from your front profile only, not your 3/4 profile, not your side profile, if your zygomatic does not pop out in the front profile, automatically assume yourself that you have a square head shape. You don't have that much angularity. Even though I'm saying this, just because you're labeled to be square, if we go back here, this is the same guy right here. Jordan Barrett, this is the same guy. He went from square to diamond because now we can see his cheekbones. And don't say because he's smiling. Whether he's smiling or not, he has hollow cheeks now. So that's the diamond though. So like I said, if your zygos do not stick out in your front profile, assume the fact that you're square. Now, I'm not getting into the hairstyles now. We're just covering the face shapes. The next face shape we have is the triangle. With the triangle, your head is a little long, but your zygos are wider than your jaw. So if we look at Kai Sanai's zygos here, his cheekbones stick out a little farther than his jaw. He has a kind of a smaller jaw. I'd make the guess he has a narrow palate just off of how narrow his jaw looks, but I don't really know. He might need MSE. Regardless though, with the triangle, if your zygos stick out and you think you have a long face, then you probably are a triangle if you have zygos. Because the way to tell really is just you put the cursor on your cheekbones, and does it go down or does it go down? Or does it go down or does it slightly angle like a triangle? It's very common sense here. Now, keep in mind, with all these face shapes I'm mentioning here, we're looking at the lower third. We're not focusing on the top third because that kind of influences how you might see things. We're only looking at the lower third to decide which hairstyle is best for our face shape. So we went through the square, now we're on the triangle. We went through the triangle. This is another example of a triangle. Look at his cheekbones. If we angle it down, it doesn't go straight down like with the box. It goes kind of inward. Triangle. Next up is the diamond head shape. Now, not to glaze, but if you have this head shape, you won the genetic lottery. I won't lie to you. Simply because not that many people have good cheekbones and a good jaw. Automatically, if you already have good cheekbones and a good jaw, you automatically will have hollow cheeks. You can be at a higher body fat percentage and your cheekbones will still show simply because you won the lottery. You have a good bone. You have good bone structure. So to tell what a diamond head shape is very simple. The difference between a diamond and a triangle is the diamond has the jaw to pair with it. The triangle here, like I just said, the triangle cheekbones, your cheekbones stick farther out than your jaw. So you can't, even though you don't need hollow cheeks, your hollow cheeks don't really show because you're lacking that prominence that comes with it. So right here with this guy, he has the cheekbones and the jaw, and you see the slight hollow cheekness, right? So we went through the square head shape, we went through the triangle head shape, we went through the diamond head shape. Now we're going to go through what you all been waiting for, the hairstyles. Now I won't lie to you. You're probably thinking, bro, I'm not going to cover my face. That's okay. Naturally, with the square head shape, you don't have that many sharp features. Now, I know you might see just hollow cheeks and things, bro, he has hollow cheeks. I thought he's square. He still is a square head shape. This is not the best example. Like I said, this is Jordan Barrett. He's literally shape-shifting. Like I just said, in this picture, he's literally square. So don't mind the hollow cheekness. Regardless, a lot of times, if you do have a square head shape, it's in your best favor to have a lot more volume at the top. And if you don't have a lot of volume at the top, you can kind of put some more volume at the sides. Kind of like this. Now, if you're thinking, well, could I get away with middle part dreads? You can, but you will still be better off having more volume at the top. That way your face looks smaller than it actually is. So for the square face shape, you can do the free forms like Coach K. You can kind of do the Jordan Barrett if you're not black. You can kind of do this hairstyle, but we still want more volume. Even Jordan Barrett knows it himself because if you peep in this picture, he has a lot more volume. The The volume makes your head seem smaller than it is. So if you have a square head shape, it's not in your best interest to get a low cut. Yes, I know this from experience. If you have a low cut and a square face shape with no angularity, girls in the back of their mind will say, you look like a Ninja Turtle. You can't help it. It's genetics. So what you can do is this. You can get more volume at the top, or you can get freeforms and do what you can. Regardless, these are your best options. You can go with the middle part dreads, but having volume at the top is a must. In fact, this isn't even your best option. Something like this is your best option. The problem with the dress Coach K have, which is me, is sometimes my dress will look flat. So if I don't style it all the way. With the afro, it's the pros and cons, right? I know I just said it's in your best favor to have this fro, but the maintenance that comes with it, when you wake up, this is going to be flat too. So both of these are good options. If you're going into the corporate America, you obviously can't have dress in your face. You're cooked, that's tough. You're going to have to go with some volume at the top. And if you go with volume at the top, I'm telling you right now, you cannot, I'm going to do a video on the hairstyles not to do, but don't think to do a long at the top, short on the sides. You're going to have the mohawk head shape. It's not going to look good for you. Ideally, like I just said, you want a lot of volume at the top, minimum, at the top and the sides. You want to make your head seem smaller than it actually is. So that's the square head shape, and we know what you're going to get called if you get waves or a low cut, because you don't have that many sharp features. So next up, we have the triangle head shape. Now, I won't lie, if you have the triangle head shape, depending on how sharp your features are, like if you can see a lot of, if you have like a sharp cheekbones, you can get away with a low cut. If you have a high body fat percentage, it might not be in your best favor to go with the low cut because your features are just not that sharp. But if you have some semi-decent sharp features, or if you're like 15-16% body fat, you can pull off a low cut. Simply because your head is already kind of long. Another good hairstyle are middle part dreads. These can sometimes make your head seem longer than it is, but it still shows angularity. You can get away with this, but we are still focused on the fact of whether our forehead is too big for our own good. For example, with this guy, his forehead isn't necessarily big, but it wouldn't hurt if it was like maybe 1 or 2 inches lower. So in this case, it wouldn't hurt for him to get something like these type of freeform or fro to kind of make his head seem smaller than it actually is. Regardless though, it wouldn't hurt if you got an afro, some freeforms. I won't cap to you, triangle, you have a lot of freedom. It's the square head shape that can't pull this shit off. We're being respectful here, I'm not gonna lie. I would know. So, like I said, triangle, you have a lot of flexibility. Your best option, depending on what you're going for, you can go with the freeforms, you can go with the middle parts. You have a lot of options. It just depends on how sharp your features are. So middle part dreads are a good option, but it just depends. If you have a big forehead, go ahead and get the freeforms to win. Go ahead and get the afro. But with the square head shape, we don't have that luxury. I'm being very cut blank. Unless you lean down heavily and you can kind of have this little sharp and have this little slight hollow cheeks, it just won't be in your best favor to get any type of low cut. You will be clowned. They'll say you look like a kid only because your hair gives you angularity. Once you lose that shit, you are cooked. They will see the real you. We've seen in the TikToks, the moment my man cut his hair, he looks different, because he does. Hair is law. So, like I said, with the triangle, you have a lot of options here. You just have to ask yourself, what are you going for? Also, like I just said, there are worse hairstyles. I'm not going to lie. In 2026, I've never seen anyone have a lot of volume at the top and nothing at the sides. Like, even with this guy, he has something at the side. So, having a cupcake pineapple, that's patched. Having a lot on the top and not that much on the sides is just not ideal for any head shape. Pineapple, you look like a cartoon character. Not trying to make any jokes. Like I said, this is a good example of, this is not pineapple, by the way. I'm just saying, if he cut more on the sides and it was just a longer top, it just wouldn't be in his best favor. So this is a triangle head shape. And like I said, if you have this head shape, you can pull off a lot, assuming that you have a low set forehead. Next up, we have the diamond. Now, we're being objective here. The diamond can get away with a lot of these things. Now, in this example here, this one is closer to triangle, but he has this eye halo, so I had to put him in diamond. So he's closer to triangle than diamond, simply because if you look here, his zygotes are a little more pronounced compared to his jaw, but he still has a slight hollow cheek effect. So with the diamond, I'm gonna be very cut blank here. It depends on you. You can choose any hairstyle you want. You're gonna look good. The girls are gonna like you. The girls are gonna like you simply because you already have good health indicators. You have the cheekbones. If anyone knows this guy, he literally got out of jail.
It's the viral mugshot, and the con has got women swooning across the world.
Yeah, there's nothing ugly about this guy. He's so good looking, in fact, it's, well, criminal. Now he's getting loads of Facebook fans, and ABC's Cecilia Vega has more on this very nice looking fella.
Her chiseled cheeks, those blue eyes, the teardrop, and the neck tats. It is the mugshot going viral, the most liked photo ever in the history of the Stockton, California Police Department's Facebook page.
You can't make it up. If you do have this diamond head shape, I wouldn't really recommend getting these type of longer styles because your face is already doing a lot for you. So you don't gain anything by hiding your face. But if you want to kind of boost your appeal and you want to appeal to a certain demographic of girls, okay, you can get the freeforms, you can get the dreads, you can cover your face. But if you have the face for it, you're only hurting yourself. This is the face shape guide. We're gonna do a review of why each face has a certain head shape. So like I said, with this Jordan Barrett, the cheekbones, from the cheekbones here, the cheekbones don't go inward. They go outward, like a box. Kai Sinai, his cheekbones go slightly inward. It's just he's super bloated here. So if you think you have a longer lower third, if you think you have a longer head, just angle it from your cheekbones down and you're most likely going to be triangle shaped. But if you're blurred like here, it can look more like a long rectangle. Diamond, cheekbones, and jaw. So if we're going in order, the square head shapes just only have the jaw really. Your zygotes are not that pronounced. If you look at the triangle normally have pronounced zygotes. It's just the jaw is just not as pronounced. The diamond has the best of both worlds. That's how they have the prominent hollow cheek effect. They have the zygotes, the cheekbones, and they have the jaw, hollow cheeks. Same thing with this guy. Zygotes, jaw, hollow cheeks. If you have any questions about your own face shape, you can check out Instagram IQ. I'll just look at your page, see, give you some feedback, help you out. Link in description. That was really it. Let's hoop. We know hair is law. I've never seen any celebrity that's young that can pull off a bald look. Even with Jeremy Meeks, he has some type of hairline. He's not cleanly shaven because we know, me and you and the girls know, your hair frames your face along with your eyebrows. So check out the Instagram IQ. Man, let's hoop. If you have any other questions about your head shape or your face shape, about any other thing related to your hairstyle, comment it. In fact, comment what type of head shape you have. Regardless, man, let's hoop!